All right, so welcome to this week's Unikernel application spotlight. For those of you who are super observant, I'm recording this a handful of days early just because I want to reclaim that time. This week we're looking at OpenCloud. So OpenCloud, as far as I can tell, it's kind of like a Dropbox clone. It's there's another open source product like this. I forgot what it was called, but it's like this, but it's written in like PHP or something, and it has like a whole bunch of random stuff that it calls. One thing that caught my eye about OpenCloud was it's fully written in Go and it's a single binary. So I immediately liked that. That really automatically fits in with unikernels. It's coming from the EU. I guess there is a company behind this. The Heinlein Group out of Berlin, and I don't know if there's other like EU government integration with this or not, but it kind of feels like there is. It's obviously on the repo. You can go grab it. Like I said, the backends in Go, it uses gRPC to communicate. It has built-in OID, and has several desktop apps, so you can use Windows or Mac or Linux to do your file syncing. You can log in with a mobile app on iOS and Android, which is pretty cool. And then the web front end is Vue.js with some TypeScript, I guess. This is their repo, and it so they're using this makefile because of the gRPC and the protobufs. But there's actually quite a bit of stuff that is getting built in this too. You can just kind of look at all of the stuff here, like whether it's Keycloak or Nats or KQL or some of these other things that are in here. But let's go ahead and check it out. Let's pop into here. And we load it up. It's going to listen on 9200, which is, I guess, also does gRPC there. I wouldn't pay attention to this. This is some stuff that we can add in nanos, and we just haven't yet. Let's go ahead and load it up. So it logged me in already. I did add a default password. Well, so when you first run this, you do an OpenCloud init to initialize everything, and that has like a whole bunch of stuff that it initializes. One is this default password, which I stuffed in here. Obviously, you can just rerun the OpenCloud init. If you clone this package, just rerun OpenCloud init, copy it over. That's one way to do this, or you can reset the password. Either of these, whatever. But if we go check out our package real quick, so the actual binary is about 100 megs, which is a little bit big, but at the same time, it is stripped. Yeah, it does build quite a bit of stuff, so I'm not like super surprised. Let's look at the package real quick. So I did set the storage users driver to decompose. The default is POSIX. There was some extra. There was two syscalls that we needed to add that we don't have, and that's why I set this. And I almost decided to stub them out, but I found this little tip because some FreeBSD users were asking for it too. And so I just set this and it's fine. But we'll go ahead and add these extra calls here in the near future too. Let's see. Etsy has an Etsy host, so that's just a set local host. The actual file configuration is this OpenCloud YAML. And so as you can see, there's just an awful large amount of initialization that gets done there. Let's see. So there was home, but let me show you what is actually in that. Let's see. I don't even think this is actually reading this because, and I could have probably excluded this actually. but yeah, this is all the stuff that it gets initialized. The config, which is actually reading from Etsy as we showed, and then all of this crap. We have a bolt DB here. We have these PIM keys for IBM. We have NATs. We have search using Believe. That's a popular Go search tool, and then storage. I think this is the big one though. Yeah, and so OCM. By default, it's going to store everything locally inside the image. I think they do have support for a backend, like a database of sorts, but don't quote me on that. Let's look at proc. So I had to stub out proc here. So this is one of the things with building packages. If you've written the application, you probably know what needs to be done to make things happen. If you haven't written the application, like maybe you write JavaScript instead of Go, you might run across something like this and you're like, well, fuck, how do I run this, right? And so that's like when you might need to reach out for help or whatever. But in this case, there's two proc entries that some Go package wanted. One was to look at C groups. We obviously don't support C groups. And then the mount info, which again, it was looking for data that just doesn't matter, so it's all stubbed. There's nothing there, and there's nothing that it actually uses. And then let's look at user. I'm not sure if I needed to actually include that. Oh, var. So yeah, var has the other part of the config, and I didn't look at this too long. As you can see, we have the same thing that was in Home Iberg. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to this that much. One or more of these copies could probably be nuked, and that would probably make this package much smaller. So I don't know, maybe one of the OpenCloud authors will repackage this, or somebody who knows about this better than I do. But yeah, that's what we have. So it is what it is. Let's check it out. So this is the raw interface here. It looks, it's kind of like a Dropbox type of thing. They have this concept of spaces, so you can have, you can have folders, so to speak. We have our personal. We have text editor, an app store, and check out the app store. You got like some maps. You got unzipping functionality. You got this JSON viewer. Seems like, an arcade. Some other things. If we pop into the text editor. Hello from the OpenCloud text editor. And so, this isn't VI, but we can certainly edit files and save them. Go back to our file, and now this looks a lot like a Google Docs or a Dropbox or something. And so, getting our details and all sorts of stuff. And you can set tags, and we can share things out. So this is what I would use a Dropbox or something for. Is I have lots of very important documents, and most of the time I need to share them with other people. But it's also kind of like I know it's backed up, and it's at least on one computer, mine, and at least on somebody else's computer, theirs. So that's kind of a main use case, at least for me. Our admin settings, we've got the notion of users and groups, and again, spaces. And then we also have a calendar activity, so we can hook it up to CalDev and so forth. Have our search. So I don't think it does like the inner docs, but yeah, see if it would do like, yeah, so it found a new file. That's good. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, and this is actually kind of like one of the first projects I've seen in this space that's actually using Go. That's one binary, super easy to run as a Unikernel, and so I was excited to see it. I thought it was a good fit for being a Unikernel. So yeah, this was this week's Unikernel application spotlight of running OpenCloud. Till next week.